Hi, I'm Tudor Davies from Spectrum Signal Processing by Vesma. Today I'd like to show you an FM receiver demo running on Spectrum's SDR-4902 platform. So this is the SDR-4902. We've got the Pro 4600 board, which is the baseband processing board. It has a PowerPC, a DSP, and a user programmable FPGA. And this is the new RF4902 card, which is an RF transceiver card. It's equipped with RF out, RF in. It tunes from 200 to 2700 megahertz, and it's got its own onboard user programmable FPGA. And we've just hooked up a receive antenna that we're going to use for this FM demo. The other two things we have connected to it are two laptops. So this is a Linux laptop which is running CRC's Radio Manager. This other laptop is running Windows. We're only using this one today as a file server. So it's running the TFTP server, which is where the Pro 4600 boots from. And this is just a window we've used to set the permissions so that the 4600 can boot from this remote location. So this is the CRC Radio Manager, and you can see that we have the various devices instantiated that we'll be using today. These are the hardware devices. So each one of these is a logical device. This is the executable device which represents the PowerPC on the Pro 4600. This is the DSP device which represents the DSP, and this is the RF4902 logical device which represents the RF4902 card. The RF front end. So in addition, we've got loaded these two. So the blue boxes are the software waveforms which are installed on the system. This one is a system example which we provide with the SDR-4902. And this is the FM transceiver example, which is a demo. It's the waveform that we're going to be demonstrating today. So in order to do this particular demo, we need a couple of other devices which are going to run on the Linux laptop. So I'll instantiate those, and we've got a little desktop menu to start those. And so those pop up as these other devices. So these are hardware devices. The audio device is actually running on the Linux laptop. So we will, now that we have all the hardware instantiated, we can instantiate the waveform. So I'll right click and then instantiate the application, and we get this pop-up window. This pop-up window is the, I'll just expand the window here. This is the configuration of the application, the actual waveform. There are a number of properties that you can change. This is actually the front panel, as it were, for the waveform. When you're in development, when you're actually deployed, you're going to not expose all of these functions to the user, but in development you want to have control over things like the IP address, the sampling rate for the ADC and the DAC and various things like that. You don't want to expose all of those to the user, so you use basically a different GUI, but on the Radio Manager you have control of all of these things. The defaults are all okay for what we want to do, so we're going to just change the name to something more meaningful. I'll say FM receiver, and I'll just OK the box. So the Radio Manager is taking a bit of time. It's going to instantiate the application. And so once the application is instantiated, I get the little light blue box here, which is showing that the FM receiver is instantiated on this hardware set. So the next thing, I right click to actually start the application running. I'll click on Start, and I get the pop-up message, application started successfully. So I'll OK that. And I can also right-click on here to show the properties, and I can do things like set the channel number, the frequency, and various things like that. But we'll just use it as the default. It comes up by default on channel 1. So I've got this little FRS radio. The FRS radio transmits an FM signal in the range of about 462 megahertz. And so I can press the button and talk on it, and you can hear receiving on here. The speakers are a bit weak on here, but you can hear the echo of my voice coming out of the speakers. So that's basically the demo. There are a few things that I can do. Some of the properties that I want to change, I have to stop the application if I want to change certain things. But for the channel number, I can actually change the channel. Just double click, change the number, and I'll have to change the channel on the radio. And so now I talk on channel 2, and you can hear the sound coming out of the speakers. The microphone isn't very close to them, but that's the demo showing the FM receiver, the sound coming out of the speakers inside the laptop.